Hello everyone, and welcome to another Jurassic Park video. Today I have a real treat for you, because I have a special guest with me today. He's a fellow YouTuber who has made many Jurassic Park videos that you may have seen before. He's someone who has the same passion for the Jurassic Park franchise as I do. So without further ado, I present to you my special guest, Mr. Klayton Fioriti. Hey Klayton, it's good to have you here. Thanks again for wanting to be a part of this.
Hey, yeah, man, I'm totally ready to talk. I love all things Jurassic, and I'm sure all your fans do too. I watch your videos quite often, so this should be pretty fun.
Oh, thank you. I do the same for you. Actually, it's partially because of you that I actually made all these videos, because I was in a very lazy slump at one point, and I just thought, I can't think of anything. I just can't think of anything. And then I kind of saw some of your videos popping up here and there, kind of like talking about the how, the who, the what, and then I think, that's kind of a good idea. You know, lots of people like to talk about that stuff with, like, Star Wars and Alien.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think you're a big Star Wars fan and Alien fan, too.
Yeah, I like them both. I'm nowhere near as knowledgeable as either of those things than Jurassic Park, but
yeah,
I do love, I do love Star Wars and Alien, Predator, all that stuff. It's all awesome to me.
Nice. Have you thought about doing more of those kind of videos, or...?
Star Wars, no way. I can't. There's no way I could compete with all these other guys. Plus, my heart wouldn't be in it. Honestly, it's all Jurassic.
Yeah, that's true. It's the franchise for me. Like, I never even grew up watching Star Wars. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, I mean, I got into Star Wars pretty late, around 2004. I remember when The Phantom Menace came out, or honestly, I remember when they re-released the special editions in 1997.
Oh, wow.
But I was my mind was all Lost World back then. Like, that's all I was caring about.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite sequel at the time until Jurassic World came out, just because it was so much T-Rex. T-Rex here, T-Rex there, just everywhere T-Rex.
Totally. As a kid, that was like, oh my god, this is awesome. It scared the shit out of me, though, as a kid, though. Honestly, that's a scary movie.
I can see that, like, because a lot of the deaths in the movie are, I think you could say they're more brutal than ones we've seen in Jurassic Park, because, like, compare Eddie Carr's death to Muldoon's death. Muldoon, you see, like, a bush blocking it. Like, you know what's happening, and it's pretty bad, but you see Eddie Carr get ripped in half.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the very scene, actually. It started when the glass started cracking with Sarah, where she's, don't move.
Yeah.
But then when they actually, I thought Eddie would save them and it'd all be good, and they ripped him out of the car and then ripped him in half. I was just, as a kid, I was like, oh, we're going there.
Oh my god, geez. He died.
Yeah, he's gone.
You're not supposed to kill off the good guys.
Yeah, and that's another thing about Lost World is I expected Roland to die when he was going up against the buck, when he was going to tranquilize it. I was like, oh, he's dead. I think that's what makes that movie so special, is because, like, when they reveal that he tranquilized it, it made him look like such a badass.
But I think he's the best character in that movie. Like, new character.
Dude, totally agree.
Like,
totally
I know
agree.
Malcolm's iconic in his own way, but
right.
Roland Tembo, man, that guy's just a legend.
Yeah, awesome. And it's a shame that they'll never get to use him again because, Pete passed. But, like, he's such a good character. It's
such
ridiculous.
A good actor, too.
Oh, he's awesome in everything he's ever done.
Yeah. So, yeah, Lost World was a pretty good sequel, I think. And then Jurassic Park 3 came out, and we got to see a new dinosaur. We got the Spinosaurus. Based on a conversation you and I had before, would you say that's your favorite dinosaur in the franchise?
No, I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I do really appreciate it, though, and I think that may be something that not a lot of people know. Because in some of my older videos, I was kind of I was a bit harsh to Jurassic Park 3. I'll tell you though, man, when that movie first came out, when I first saw that movie, the Spinosaurus was a badass.
Yes, it was. And I thought it was so cool.
It was cool. It was an impressive, really impressive animal to see on screen, and it's still to this day one of the most impressive predators I think they've ever shown. I hope we get to see it again. I really do.
I do too. I mean, when I was a kid, like, I loved the T-Rex in Jurassic Park: The Lost World, but when I saw that there was a bigger and badder dinosaur on screen, bigger than the T-Rex,
right, yeah.
I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Same here, man. I can remember all the hype for the trailers and everything. It's so crazy how time changes opinions.
When I was a kid, I didn't bat an eye that the T-Rex was killed by the Spinosaurus. But then as I kind of got a little bit older, I looked back and I'm like, I kind of wish the T-Rex was in Jurassic Park 3 more. I wish they didn't kill it off as quick as they did.
Yeah, you kind of think, you're like, was that necessary? Or were there any other Rexes around? It's just, it's weird how that happens. But the same thing happened to Lost World, though. I didn't hear anyone talk trash about Lost World until like the mid to late 2000s. And I'm probably sure that people already were. But when I was a kid, everyone loved that movie. The only one that didn't was my dad.
Really?
And he loves it now. Yeah, he loves it now more than any of them. Oddly enough, Lost World's his favorite, which is so crazy to me. I'm like, you used to hate it. But it's so crazy. Like, and I'm starting to hear people don't like Jurassic World as much anymore.
I'm hearing that a lot. A lot of people are saying that it's unoriginal, it's a ripoff.
Oh,
but I disagree with that.
I disagree too. That's like saying Return of the Jedi is the same movie as A New Hope. Jurassic World's very different.
Absolutely.
Actually, it's almost nothing like Jurassic Park. I'm kind of shocked to hear that, honestly.
Like, I think that it pays homage to the Jurassic Park movie in its own way. Like, we had the visitor center, we had the original Jurassic Park theme. Like, we had little throwbacks here and there to that. But I don't think it relied on that to carry itself as a movie.
No, not at all. And in fact, it made a pretty bold statement on the state of the franchise and movie sequels itself with the Indominus Rex. It was pretty much... it's a really meta movie. Jurassic World's pretty intelligent, but it gets beat up pretty bad nowadays. I don't know why, because it's sat really well with critics. It's made a lot of money, and even critics, like, now they're assaulting Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, which, mark my words, like I'm gonna go down and have this quoted. Fallen Kingdom will have a higher tomato meter score than Jurassic World. It'll be much more better liked. And I think that Fallen Kingdom will come out of nowhere and be like one of the best sequels of the year.
It could happen.
I'm going to go ahead and say it.
I'm going to
go ahead and say it. I think that's going to happen.
I just hope it doesn't go down the route of Jurassic Park 3. Now, don't get me wrong. I enjoy Jurassic Park 3 a lot. It's not as good as the other ones, but I still enjoy it. But as a sequel, it kind of fits out of place or doesn't fit in place. So I just hope that Fallen Kingdom doesn't go that same route. I don't think it will.
Yeah, I don't think it will either. I know some people do. Some people think it's totally going to be a big leap, but not me, man. I don't know if it's because I'm more of a... I've been reading a lot of the novels lately, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, Crichton would probably be really, really proud of this one.
I actually made a post on the JP Toys forum way back when. I said, like, what would Crichton say about Jurassic World if he were still alive today, basically?
I think he would love it. I really do. I mean, what do you think?
I think he would. I think... Because I remember in the third Jurassic Park movie, he couldn't come up with an idea for the story, so he had to leave. But then if he saw what Jurassic World was able to accomplish, I think he'd be pretty impressed with that.
Yeah, because and a lot of what Jurassic World was it was more focused on the genetic tampering and how bad this is. It was more on the science side of, hey, do not manipulate these genes, do not do this to create more revenue.
And they did it anyway.
And they did it anyway. And Crichton talked about that a lot in the first book. He was very adamant on, look, this should not have been attempted. There are various problems that are happening right now because of this.
Yep, and Hammond was just so stubborn about it.
Yeah, in the book, totally. He was in the movie too. He was pretty stubborn about it.
He had his head in the clouds, I think, in that movie. Like, I think he wasn't like in the books where he was just like an asshole.
Yeah, right.
In the movie, I just think he was a jolly old man, but he did have his head in the clouds and was very naive to what he was doing.
Too ambitious.
Yeah, too ambitious.
He should have seen, like, that dinner scene where he's talking to Ellie and she's
Perfect
like,
perfect example.
He's still thinking about fixing the park. It's like, dude, it's done. It's over, man. Just leave. Your kids are still lost. But Hammond, he just got way too caught up in the whole thing. I love that character, man. It's such a shame that I wish he was in Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World. It would have been a real awesome treat to see him again.
I would have loved to see that. Like, I know we have the Hammond statue in the Innovation Center, but it's a nice nod in that regard. But I think he would have had, like, maybe they have him do like a video call or something, or a commercial, or a press conference, like, oh yes, I approve of Jurassic World.
Yeah, that would have been great. Another YouTuber, Best in Slot, actually did a video yesterday on Hammond's death in an early draft of the Jurassic Park screenplay.
I saw the thumbnail, but I didn't click on it yet.
Okay, do you mind if I talk about it?
Yeah,
or no?
Go ahead.
Okay, so like he basically goes into detail saying that Hammond would be killed by raptors while he turned on the projection in the theater where they were going over the dino DNA stuff. The raptors were still looking for Lex and Tim in the kitchen, I believe, and he turned it on to to like steer them away from them, to lure them out, and he gets killed in the theater with his voice over the projector going like, welcome to Jurassic Park, where the raptors come and overtake him and kill him. And that was just a weird... I'm glad it wasn't in the movie, but I'm thinking about it. I was like, wow, that would have been a really dark turn. I wish I want that to be in a movie. I actually didn't even know that was planned. That must have been from a really early draft. I'm glad he dug that up. I learned something new every day.
Maybe they'll do something like that when Dr. Wu meets his end in Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, come on. We got to have the... I want to see his death from the novel. I want to see the intestines fall.
Disemboweled.
Yeah, that's... I don't know if they'll do that. I have a feeling Indoraptor is going to eat him.
Yeah, I think so. Meet his end by the hands of his own creation.
Yeah, I have a sneaky suspicion.
Actually, since we mentioned that, like, we mentioned the science of Back to Jurassic World, the Indominus Rex, like, it was supposedly this freak of science that, I think it was Trevorrow that said it was like the embodiment of man's greed and selfishness kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of just been thinking lately, I know a couple of people have talked about it briefly before, but I remember the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3 and how much of a badass it was. And then I remember in Jurassic World, the Indominus Rex and how much of an awesome force of destruction it was. So I kind of got to thinking, like, what would happen if these two ever met and fought?
I think it would be a pretty serious battle. There's been a lot of talk about the Spinosaurus actually being a hybrid.
Yes.
Whether or not that's true, I tend to believe it is.
Yeah, me too.
I think that you would be seeing a lot of damage on both sides, especially all of the heavy alterations to the Indominus Rex going up against the very powerful, overtly powerful, really, Spinosaurus that's both aquatic and terrestrial. That would be a fight I'd pay to see.
I mean, the Spinosaurus was referred to as an accident, and we've seen how powerful it can be, and then we've seen how powerful the Indominus could be, and I don't think it's a one-sided fight. Absolutely not.
No, it would be close.
So yeah. Let's talk about that some more. Let's talk about what would happen if the Spinosaurus and the Indominus Rex would fight.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Let's do it.
Alrighty. Our first combatant is the Frankenstein monster of Jurassic Park. Bigger, louder, more teeth. The fierce and untamable king, the Indominus Rex. Standing 20 feet tall, 50 feet long, and weighing in at 6 tons, this genetic hybrid was created from the DNA of various dinosaurs and modern-day animals, and exhibits many traits from these creatures. It can control its body temperature, sense thermal radiation, and even camouflage itself. It's a highly intelligent and agile creature, reaching speeds of up to 50 kilometers per hour. It wields extremely tough skin, sharp claws, and 74 teeth. Its powerful jaws can break glass that's able to stop a 50 caliber bullet. Not only that, it's extremely durable, capable of taking an Ankylosaurus's club to the head, a bite from a T-Rex, and even a barrage of bullets. It will kill anything that moves, leaving absolute carnage in its wake. Simply put, it's a killing machine that will not stop. Having the highest kill count out of every animal in the series, the Indominus Rex is without a doubt a force to be reckoned with. Now this is already sounding like it's going to be an exciting battle. With that said, let's move on to combatant number 2. Take it away, Klayton.
Our other animal is an extremely mysterious creature that's shown to be powerful enough to kill a Tyrannosaurus Rex. This dinosaur lived freely on Isla Sorna and bore a crocodile-like snout, along with an instantly recognizable sail. The Spinosaurus is easily one of the most ruthless predators in the entire franchise. Standing 43.8 feet long and nearly 6 meters tall, 19.7 feet to be exact, this guy weighs in at 7.7 tons and is capable of delivering devastating blows to its opponents through the use of its large, scaly claws. Very little is known about this dinosaur's backstory, except that it wasn't on InGen's official list of recreated animals that they'd engineered for Jurassic Park, and instead seems to be the result of some kind of wild experiment that went wrong on Sorna, the island where the creature was not only born, but abandoned and left to fend for itself in a truly brutal environment, filled to the brim with an assortment of other deadly animals. With the impressive ability to immerse itself underwater and swim great distances, the Spinosaurus is just as well adapted to fight on land as it is in any aquatic setting. It also has the ability to track its prey at great distances, and is shown to take massive blows from things that would seemingly kill any other dinosaur. Whether it be getting hit by a plane or mauled by a Rex, the Spinosaurus is one resilient beast. Having survived all of this and even being engulfed in a massive ring of gaslit fire, this guy deserves a lot of recognition for being the iconic dino that he is.
That was an amazing introduction, Klayton, and you're absolutely right. So when we take two of these dinosaurs and consider all those things, what do you think would happen?
Well, this is going to be a really major battle. I can say for one thing, it is not going to be one-sided. It's going to be pretty close. The immediate thing that both these animals have is obviously the claws. Both these dinosaurs have large freaking claws that the T-Rex lacks. So they're going to be slashing at each other like nobody's business.
Absolutely.
But I think that if you recall in Jurassic World, the Indominus wasn't a very good swimmer, so we might have a bit of an issue once we reach the water.
That's true. That's true. I think about the claws, and I remember the Indominus Rex, with one finger, was able to break through glass that's meant to withstand impact from a 50 caliber bullet. And then I remember the Spinosaurus taking its claws and ripping off the cockpit of a plane.
Yeah.
I think the Spinosaurus' main weapon, would be its claws, in my opinion. It's got long arms, very thick claws, and I just think if it was able to grab onto the Indominus' abdomen and just rip it right out and see what kind of goodies fall out, who knows?
It would be a pretty messy sight, that's for sure. But the Indominus has those same strengths as well. It's got some pretty terrible claws that it used to mess up Rexy in that fight at the end of Jurassic World. One thing that I will say that the Indominus has in its advantage that the Spinosaurus unfortunately does not have is no weakness. And when I say that, I believe that the sail might be a bit of a issue in any battle that the Spinosaurus has.
Because if it gets knocked over or something like that and those bones break, it's pretty much done.
Yeah, that would not be very good. I can tell you that any well-delivered blow to that sail would probably kill it.
Yes, and I think the Spinosaurus has more weak spots than the Indominus Rex, because we remember an Ankylosaurus clubbed the Indominus in the head with its tail, and it just shook it off like nothing happened. And as well, when Rexy slammed the Indominus into the buildings, and then when it got back up, it just shook it off like nothing happened. Like, is that all you got?
Yeah, and then it had stuff sticking out of it too.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't affected. Like, it took a indirect hit from a rocket launcher, and it was open fired on, and it didn't even take a scratch hardly.
Yeah, the Indominus Rex is definitely a military-style dinosaur in terms of what it was bred for. That makes me wonder a little bit more, though. What do you think the Spinosaurus, what kind of application do you think that creature was truly bred for?
That's a good question. Because they never, if you go to the Mizrahi website, they refer to it as an accident. So I think what happened was Dr. Wu was basically wanting to see how far he can go with genetic modification. And then I think what happened was he made the Spinosaurus and made it just super strong by accident. That's why they abandoned it on Isla Sorna.
Well, oddly enough, I actually found a little bit of concept art earlier today of I guess you could call it one of the genetic lab type, one of the genetic tables that had embryos in it in Jurassic Park 3. When they're going down and they're, Alan Grant has that line of, "This is how you play God."
Yeah.
When there was supposed to be a chamber for a Spinosaurus.
Really?
And, I don't know why it got cut. I'll actually send you a link to the picture, but it's interesting because I'd never seen that before, and it clearly said Spino on it. So I was like, wow, that was going to be in that laboratory scene where we see all kinds of weird stuff we've never seen before. The movie lets all that stay pretty mysterious. They never elaborate on that. But I think it's very interesting that they were headed in that direction. And I guess we didn't really get to see the culmination of it until Jurassic World, really. But what other things do you think that they've been messing with? Because if the Spinosaurus wasn't on their list, I can only imagine what other stuff Wu was up to.
It makes you wonder. Like, I think they've been doing more experiments with hybrids, I think the Indominus Rex was more or less its official project that was revealed to the public. But I don't doubt that there were other accidents in the past.
Well, the raptors alone, I mean, those are very different looking raptors in the third film. I'm not sure if they're genetically that way. Maybe they were born that way.
Maybe.
But they're very different. They're not only the quills and the different color patterns, they have very different eyes to all the other raptors we've seen.
Very true.
It's interesting how far the Jurassic Park series will push things. As far as the Spinosaurus is concerned, though, I can't help but to think it was built to be a savage fighter, because that thing took out a T-Rex in like 20... How long was that fight? 30 seconds?
Yeah,
20
something
seconds?
like that.
Something like... There's no way. It's just like, oh, hey, this was supposed to be a baryonyx. Too bad. It's like, no, that thing was made to be pretty bad. And then it stalks Alan Grant throughout the whole film.
Yep. And didn't make a sound when it was coming up to the fence.
Yeah, well, it did make a sound, not the one they thought, though.
Well, yeah.
The da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah, but I really think that the Indominus would have its hands full with the Spinosaurus. I think it'd be a great fight. I really do. In fact, I'd love to see something like that happen in the future.
It would be awesome. I mean, so for now, all we can do is really speculate. But I was thinking, when the Spinosaurus killed the T-Rex, it bit onto its very thick and muscular neck with its jaws, and then it used its arms to break the neck of the T-Rex. Now, I think maybe it has a possible chance of doing that to the Indominus. However, I think by doing that, by attempting to do that, it would leave its very thin neck open for a very powerful bite from the Indominus, and I think that would pretty much end it there too.
Right, or if it really wouldn't even have to do that, it could just reach its hands up there and slice its throat.
I think the fact that the Indominus has opposable thumbs gives it somewhat of an edge.
Oh, yeah.
So I actually saw this video. I think it was from Trey the Explainer. He had a theory that Indominus Rex was also bred with human DNA.
I remember that.
Yeah, I think it was Trey the Explainer.
Yeah, I think so, too. That was God, I can't believe that movie's like 3 years old now.
Already, jeez. But I don't really think it... I mean, it's a good theory and all that, but I don't quite think it was bred with human DNA. It's not something I can see happening for a Jurassic Park series. Although I do remember that old art we've seen online. I don't remember if it was official or not, but there was like... The humans were like morphed with dinosaurs.
Oh, that was official, yes.
It was official,
I remember,
okay.
Yeah, I remember those days. Those were dark days to be a fan.
Thank God that didn't happen.
Yeah, oh man, do you remember when they were talking about Keira Knightley being in Jurassic Park 4?
Yes.
I was waiting for that movie, and then like all this stuff gets leaked online, probably around the time the Dark Knight came out or something, probably 10 years ago. I was like, oh shit, what is this? Oh no. Oh no.
I remember these rumors when I think it was Ariana Richards was going to be on an island with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend would be killed by dinosaurs or something.
I never heard those.
Though. We're talking like early 2000s.
Uh-huh.
So that didn't quite happen either.
I did hear a really cool one with Alan Grant returning with Nick Van Owen. Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but I would have paid money to see that. I like Nick Van Owen. That's one of Vince Vaughn's greatest roles ever.
I think so. I mean, yeah, he kind of does comedy roles nowadays, but you know, he had his big one in Jurassic or The Lost World.
Yeah, that was a really awesome scene too, where he lets all the dinosaurs out. I love The Lost World. I could talk about that movie all day long.
Oh, same here.
Makes you wonder though why the Spinosaurus wasn't in that movie.
Initially, I think maybe it's because the movies took place on different regions of the island.
Mm-hmm.
That could be part of it. But maybe Dr. Wu was experimenting with hybrids back on Isla Nublar after everything was kind of laid to waste.
Probably a little bit of both, yeah.
And then it's like,
I could see that.
We gotta let it go in between the events of The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, and they maybe dumped it off on Isla Sorna then.
Right, and that thing's, God, why is it so aggressive? Jeez, it killed everything.
I'd say that its aggression rivals that of the Indominus Rex.
Yeah, very true. They're both highly aggressive animals. The Indominus Rex it trumps the Spinosaurus in terms of intelligence.
Absolutely.
It's way smarter.
The fact that it has Velociraptor intelligence probably was a huge factor in that.
Yeah, and going back to the human theory where it had human blood in its DNA, I remember hearing that from Trey the Explainer and actually from a few other people talking about the movie, and I was not okay with that. And it's odd that we talked about that. I think Crichton would be very happy with Jurassic World if they used that, but I don't think I certainly wouldn't enjoy it, because at that point we are getting away from animals, and it's a little too monster-like. Not saying, I mean, the Indominus Rex is a monster, but it wasn't
overkill mode.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. It's like it's part human. Holy, where are we? How did we get here?
Yeah, like we went from just dinosaurs to hybrids, and I was afraid that they would actually go the extreme hybrids route for Fallen Kingdom. Like, remember that toy line?
Yeah.
The hybrids toy line?
Chaos Effect?
Oh, not that one, but that one was cool too. But like the hybrids line they came out with, I think about a couple years ago.
Oh, for the Jurassic World movie.
Yeah, the Stegoceratops, the Carnoraptor.
Yeah, which they look cool, but I don't think that they belong in a movie.
I don't think so either. I just think that's a little overkill. Like, if you Google level 40 Triceratops and see what it looks like.
Yeah, I've seen that picture. I think we're safe. In fact, I think Indoraptor will be the last one.
The last hybrid?
And I think so, because obviously their plans aren't working. I mean, the Indominus Rex was a failure. They've moved on to the Indoraptor. Where could they go next? I mean, not saying they won't like mass produce them or something. I don't know, but I don't think we're going to be getting a Stegoceratops or anything like that anytime soon, because I don't see the practical application in getting butts in the seats. Like, not so much as the story, but like I don't think anyone would want that.
No, I really wouldn't want that. Like extreme hybrids. But right. You mentioned something. You mentioned that the Indominus Rex was a failure. Now I see where you're going with that, but I kind of wonder if it really was a failure in the eyes of someone like Hoskins. Like, he thought it was like this brutal killing machine, and we saw what it was capable of. It killed the Ankylosaurus, the Apatosauruses. It destroyed the aviary. If a destructive force of nature, well, not nature because it's a fake dinosaur, if
right.
An unstoppable force is what they wanted, then that's exactly what they got. The fact that it died was, I think, sheer luck. But when the Mosasaurus came, I think that was just luck.
Right, I didn't see that coming, by the way, in the theater. The first time I saw that movie, oh my god, I was like, holy shit.
Yep, when that happened, I'm like, oh my god! And my wife was like holding my arm like, Jeremy, calm down.
Everyone in the theater, the first time, I saw it on opening night, man, it was packed.
Yeah, me too.
And I was seeing people come out, and I was just like, it's a good thing I ordered my tickets this early, because no one thought that movie would be a success. Everyone was saying, "Oh, it'll be bad. No one's gonna like." Exactly, and they're saying the same thing to Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. It's the exact same situation. They're talking down to it like it's a stupid series. So, all right, let's wait.
Which movie broke records when it came out?
Exactly.
It broke so many records when it came out.
And it's like the series has always done that. Lost World. When Lost World came out, Memorial Day weekend, holy shit, dude. That was a gigantic hit. It was the biggest selling sequel. It was the biggest movie of the year before Titanic came out. And it's not like anything could go up against that.
Titanic was in theaters for way longer than The Lost World was.
Right, exactly. It was almost a year, I think. It was in theaters for a long time.
If they did that with The Lost World, I'm sure it would have grossed more at the box office.
It was a huge hit, and I mean, we can't. Jurassic Park was the highest-grossing film of all time. It won multiple Academy Awards. Like, are we really going to talk down to the series?
How dare
But I
you.
mean, they're going to continue to do it. It's all good.
As long as they keep, make it creative and enjoyable, I'm up for it. Even if they make
I have a feeling they will.
even if they make a couple more movies, I'd be okay with it.
I have a feeling we're going to get several more. I don't know how many. They say they're going to stop at Jurassic World, I guess you could call it 3.
Yeah, that's what I heard, that they wanted to just kind of separate the Jurassic World movies as a separate trilogy.
Yeah, I think so. I would not be surprised if we get Jurassic Park 7 in like the mid-2020s, because I just don't see them leaving it. If there's money to be made, because I know that the license to use the film license for the movies expires after the 6th one comes out. They're not going to let someone just pick up on it and remake the movie.
No, I hope that never happens. No remakes for this series ever. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't want to see it either, because it would be like if you remade Jaws.
It just doesn't need it.
Yeah, like why would you do that? Why do you want to do that?
The reason why Jurassic Park is such a successful movie is partly because of the technology that it implemented when it was released. Like, we saw what we thought were real dinosaurs.
And it's still, that movie is the most important breakthrough in special effects to this day. I mean, even Avatar didn't do what Jurassic Park did. Jurassic Park is still, you look at that movie, you're like, holy shit, it still looks good. How does it still look this good? It looks better than most movies that come out today.
Yeah, like, I can watch it again and again and not get bored with it.
Oh yeah, and it's a great movie too. That's the thing, and if they remake the movie, I can only see it being like, what's a shitty knockoff of Jurassic Park? Do you remember I liked Anaconda and Lake Placid and Deep Blue Sea. I like those movies.
Yeah.
But they are like little knockoffs of Jurassic Park.
In
you know
its
what I
own
mean?
way, yeah.
So that's what I feel like it would be. It'd be like, hey, here's this thing. You like it? No? Well, sorry. We just got some money from you. Now
like
the series is dead forever.
It's like those movies that they show on the Sci-Fi Network.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
there was one about the Loch Ness Monster or something like that.
I don't think I saw that.
It was so bad. Like, what I saw of it, it was not... Ugh.
I saw one called Ghost Shark, where the shark is like in any form of water, like it was in a water cooler in a police station.
Oh my god.
Yeah. They're terrible. They're terrible.
Actually, you mentioned the water. You mentioned that the Spinosaurus has an advantage of being in the water as opposed to the Indominus Rex. Now, how would you think the fight would pan out if they were in some sort of aquatic environment? Not necessarily the ocean, but kind of like, let's say they were fighting in the river like we saw in Jurassic Park 3.
Okay, well, the Indominus Rex is pretty smart, so I don't even think it's going to attempt to get near the water if it knows the Spinosaurus is in there.
That's true.
And it's kind of always going to know it is, because, like we saw in the third movie, when it was swimming in the water, the first thing you're going to see, like a shark, is not its fin, but its sail, because that's the first thing that's going to pop out of the water. So I'm thinking that the Indominus might want to challenge it along the bank to like get out of the water. The Spino might not be that smart. Yeah. Spino might not be that smart. He's definitely not as smart as the Indominus Rex. He's probably going to get out of the water. And yeah, then it'd be pretty even.
I think so. Like, the Indominus is very smart. Like, I remember when Zach and Gray jumped over off the waterfall. You know, the Indominus just kind of looked over. I think animals have a natural instinct to be careful around water because of things that lurk there. There could be a shark, it could be a crocodile, or a mosasaurus, you know? So I don't think the Indominus would be stupid enough to just blindly walk up to the water's edge and just kind of just stand there.
It's interesting, though, because in Jurassic World, the Indominus was challenging everything it came into contact with to find out where it kind of was. On the food chain, so to speak.
And it was at the top. It stopped everything, even Rexy.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but when I was in the theater, I was like, holy shit, are they going to kill another T-Rex?
That's what I thought. I didn't know Blue was going to come.
That was a great moment, man, when Blue runs out and they had the Lost World theme playing for Blue, the da na 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 na. I was like, holy shit, this is such a surprise.
That was great.
But yeah, it was really great. I really think though that the Indominus, I feel like it's a learning animal, so Spinosaurus would definitely have a lot to put up with, especially if the Indominus gets a lock-in on its sail. But I will say, the Spinosaurus is unnaturally strong. It's able to pronate its wrist and snap necks.
Yes.
I really think that it might do something that crazy if it gets a chance. I don't know if it would kill the Indominus outright, but it would definitely cause some major injuries.
In the Indominus, I just remembered, the Indominus was able to run towards the aviary, break the glass with its head, and keep going as if it never stopped. So if it rammed the Spinosaurus, it would probably break all its ribs.
Yeah, internal bleeding would be the death.
Yep.
I forgot about it doing that.
Rupture
the Spinosaurus, yeah, I don't remember the Spinosaurus ever headbutting anything. I know the T-Rex headbutted the Spinosaurus in the movie.
In the leg or something.
Right. Actually, that brings up another situation. The Spinosaurus was able to break through the fence that was on Isla Sorna, but it wasn't able to break through the door, the big door that was where Alan Grant and everyone hid. So maybe it's susceptible to like early fatigue. Maybe it can only do like huge bursts, and then it's got to like calm down. The Indominus was able to break through the visitor center, which was all concrete, I think.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird that, well, then again, Indominus is way smarter than Spinosaurus, so I could, maybe he just gave up. Or he did just give up.
Maybe the Spinosaurus was just trying to poke the door with its nose, kind of like when it poked its nose through the plane.
Oh, right,
Maybe it was just trying to like poke it that way.
That is a cool scene, too, where it's poking its nose through the plane. It's like it's trying to find fish in a river.
Yes, and if it's
I would have
strong
loved
enough
to see
do that, like, it kind of makes me wonder how that would affect the Indominus Rex. Because if it's able to puncture through a plane like that, I think that it would have something, against the Indominus Rex in that sense.
It'd be pretty bad, especially if it got around its arms or maybe even its mouth, because the Indominus Rex seemed to have some problems growing up. Teeth are coming in weird places.
Yeah, they're breaking off.
Right, yeah. Kind of like it's so unnatural. It's not supposed to get this big. It's not supposed to exist flat out. So the Spinosaurus, I don't think it was that heavily altered. I think it's still basically a Spinosaurus. There's something else in there, obviously, but I think it would have knocked a few teeth out if it was messing with its mouth. It really wouldn't even have to poke it. Maybe you could slash it about a bit. If it took out one of its eyes, that would be a pretty big handicap for him.
Yeah, that would be quite the game changer, I think, in the fight. Like, it just goes back to what we were saying, that it's not going to be a one-sided fight.
Not at all. And that's because both animals, now we know, are genetically hybridized, but also these are the two biggest animals in the entire franchise, right?
Right.
And they're the two, I don't want to say badasses like I'm excluding Rexy, but they are the two animals that are the most brutal.
They made an impact.
Exactly, yeah. And I think that this would be a fight that a lot of people would have really enjoyed if it ever happened, if we ever got to see the Indominus and Spinosaurus battle, maybe in like a Warpath game that they remake. That would be awesome.
That'd be fun.
I personally think that the Spinosaurus and Indominus fight would probably end one of them getting either disemboweled or having their neck snapped. I don't see either of them walking away with like loose injuries or something.
Right. I think they'd both be battered. I do think that once we compare everything at the end of the day, I do think the Indominus would win over the Spinosaurus. I just think it has more advantages to it. It's really intelligent. It has a very strong bite force that even if it bit on the Spinosaurus's arm or something, that would do something.
I tend to agree with that, actually. I think that the Spinosaurus, as badass as it is, as all the stuff we've seen it do, we've seen it live after getting hit by a plane, and he may have been shot by Cooper. He definitely survived the T-Rex. I don't see him surviving the Indominus, though. I think the Indominus, at the end of the day, is just too strong.
Absolutely, it took all that. It took all those beatings throughout the movie. It took the Ankylosaurus club to the face. It took all those bullets. It even took Rexy in blue.
Yeah, the rocket launcher.
Yeah, the rocket launcher. I kind of wonder, other than the Mosasaurus, what could stop this thing? Because I honestly think that Rexy would not have had a chance, given what we saw in Jurassic World.
No, she was going to die.
If it wasn't for Blue, she would have died.
I'll bet you, and I mean, I know people are going to be screaming, "Oh my god, T-Rex fanboy" or something, but I'll bet you, man, if it was the Buck and the Doe from the Lost World, if there was two T-Rexes, I think they would kill the Indominus Rex. I mean, that's just me, but I don't think it'd be easy. But
like a full-grown 50-foot one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
okay,
I think that if the Buck and Doe from the Lost World, if they came into contact with the Indominus Rex, both of them at the same time,
yeah, two against one, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is like, okay, because I mean, people give Rexy a hard time. I mean, she did technically lose. She was going to die, but she held her own for about 10 seconds. so I mean, like, it wasn't an easy fight for the Indominus Rex.
No. Now, imagine if Rexy was in her prime.
That would be an interesting battle.
I don't think it would be as one-sided as it was in Jurassic World.
No, that would be very interesting because she's by far the biggest Tyrannosaurus Rex, but she's also, especially in her prime, right after that raptor fight.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how many trikes that she had to kill, like, just to survive?
Yeah, really.
She fights quite often. She's got some experience.
Like, people say, oh, it was raised in captivity, it's not going to stand a chance. But Rexy learned how to survive.
Yeah, two times now that she's free again on the island.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that, I mean, that would be a really close fight. I mean, maybe the Indominus would win, but that T-Rex that's a badass T-Rex.
I agree.
In its prime.
I think it would be a very similar situation as to the Indominus and Spinosaurus fight. Both would walk away with very severe injuries.
Probably. I mean, Rexy might lose both of our little arms. Probably the Indominus would have parts of its tail missing at the end of the thing. Probably end in one of them, if not breaking the other's neck. Their legs might end up disemboweling each other.
I just remembered something. Do you remember in Jurassic Park 3 when the T-Rex bit on the Spinosaurus's neck, it barely broke the skin?
Yeah, that was odd. I remember it not only bit its neck, but it forced it to the ground.
Yeah, and even then it just shook it off. Now, people could argue that it's because it's a juvenile Rex or a subadult. But if the T-Rex does have a very powerful bite, I think the Indominus still has a stronger bite force than the T-Rex because it's this, this freak of science that's amped up to the umpteenth degree. But I just remembered that. It's kind of food for thought.
It's an interesting. That's the reason for the whole controversy is why the Spinosaurus won that fight. But it's interesting that its main genetic background is Tyrannosaurus. Now, of course, there's all kinds of stuff thrown in there, but they started out with a T-Rex. It's gonna have a powerful bite force. It's unquestionably going to be strong. Now, whether or not that's the weird thing, though. Is it strong enough to break the Spinosaurus neck? Because I don't know how the Spinosaurus survived that. Subadult Rex or not, that's a lot of pressure being wrapped around your neck. So whatever hybridization is in its blood, obviously it's helping a lot. That's a pretty muscular neck that it's got there to withstand that, and then to get out of its mouth and fight back.
But I think we just gotta, if we just consider the extremities of the Indominus Rex, just considering that it's a mixture of a whole bunch of different creatures, it has the initial bite force of the T-Rex at the very least, but I think it's even stronger than that because of all the other animals that it's combined with. So I do think that the Indominus Rex would have a strong enough bite force to break the Spino's neck, but that's just my own opinion.
I would imagine it would probably be enough. The thing about the Spinosaurus that's so odd is it's in the movie that it's in, it's almost impervious to anything.
Right.
Now, the Indominus Rex towards the end of the film, it did get hurt pretty bad, but if these two guys go together, it'd be an interesting fight. Number one, if the Spinosaurus does try to bite any part of the Indominus's body, he better find a place that it doesn't have those quills on, because they don't look like they'd be nice in your mouth. The Spinosaurus, with its big weakness being its spine, that would be the one thing, if I was the Indominus, I'd go after. Then again, who knows if it would be able to figure that out immediately. Probably not. As smart as it is, it might not know that until later on. At the end of the day, I just see the Spino having a few weaknesses that the Indominus Rex doesn't, and I see it capitalizing on them. Well, I think it'll be a long fight, definitely longer than the Rex versus Spino in JP3, but I think that the Indominus would probably walk away from that battle.
I think the Indominus would. It might come up with, might leave with a few battle wounds, I think, but I just think because I think of the Spinosaurus as sort of like a rough copy of a hybrid. I think of the Indominus Rex as more or less as an improved hybrid, even though it's still kind of a prototype to what it could be in the future. I think an Indominus Rex I just think it had more advantages, given in its genetic code, just compared to the Spinosaurus. I just think, the Indominus Rex has more advantages and less weak spots than compared to the Spinosaurus.
More intelligent, ability to hide its thermal signatures. I mean, it could camouflage.
That's a perfect example, yeah. Like, Spinosaurus could just be walking through a field, and Indominus blends in with the trees, and all of a sudden, just like an RKO out of nowhere, boom!
Yeah, he's gone. That's the thing, is the Indominus is a battle-made dinosaur. It's made to do some crazy shit. Not saying the Spinosaurus isn't, but I do think that the Indominus Rex was created specifically to kill. Spinosaurus was an accident, and I think that's where the line is drawn in the sand.
Dr. Wu wasn't planning it with the Spinosaurus, but then once Dr. Wu was, dealing with Hoskins, I think that's when he's like, hey, let's make something meant for killing.
Yeah, and they definitely succeeded in that matter, which it brings me to a question that I'm very interested in seeing what you think. What do you think the Indoraptor will bring to the table in terms of advancements? Because this is obviously Indominus 2.0, so to speak. What do you think it's going to do?
I think it's going to be more or less a supersized raptor with incredible strength. Like, I think it's going to be, it's supposed to be bigger than a Velociraptor, but not quite as big as an Indominus Rex. Maybe it has the ability to jump onto a large predator and kind of attack it like a raptor would.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that.
It's kind of, just imagine a bigger Velociraptor jumping on the T-Rex.
Mm.
And if something like that happened, I wouldn't know how that thing would be stopped.
Yeah, that would be pretty brutal, especially with that. If it has the sickle-shaped claw, that's not good.
And if those toy prototypes I saw were legit, then yeah, it does have the sickle claw.
Oh, I didn't get to see the claw. That's bad news for any dinosaur.
I'll try and find a picture. I'll try. A lot of them are being taken down because of privacy and all that, but if I find one, I'll send it to you.
Oh, sweet. Do you think it'll camouflage?
Yes, I do. I don't think they would pass it up given what they did with the Indominus Rex.
Right, yeah, me neither. I think they'll do it a lot.
Now, as to any other abilities it would have, I'm not quite sure. I don't have any ideas at the top of my head right now. I think it would just be a smaller version of the Indominus Rex, just like Hoskins said it would be. Just maybe more agile, because it's smaller, it's got maybe less weight to it.
It's so funny that when I saw that movie in theaters and he was saying an animal a fraction of that size, I was imagining that they would be the size of the Velociraptors.
Yeah, me too.
But now that we're seeing like all this stuff about it, I'm like, that's pretty fucking big, Hoskins.
But that's your idea of a fraction?
Yeah, so what do you mean by like this is 3/4 of the Indominus? But yeah, I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh, so when you meant Indoraptor, you meant like subadult T-Rex. I was like, shit, this thing's big. I think it'll be really good. Hey, by the way, you think they'll make it fight another dinosaur?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
I'm not sure. What, do you think they'll make it fight Rexy?
I thought that maybe if Rexy and Blue would team up against the Indoraptor like they did in Jurassic World, that maybe, but I don't want it to like rip off Jurassic World in that sense. I do think that
right, you don't want the same thing.
Yeah, you don't want the exact same thing because then you expect the same thing maybe.
Right.
I do think that the Indoraptor and Rexy will fight. I don't know how it's going to happen, but we do have, I think the Indoraptor's in Lockwood Manor, I believe. And the T-Rex,
yeah, probably.
The T-Rex is being probably shipped to the mainland somewhere because they rescued it from Isla Nublar. So I think somewhere down the road that these two will meet. But I gotta be ready because it's very possible that Rexy will die against the Indoraptor. I think the Indoraptor will die, but Rexy's gonna possibly die from wounds. And when that happens, I'm not afraid to say it, I'll cry.
You know, it's so funny. I was when I did that. I did a video on if the T-Rex would die.
Yes, I saw that.
And yeah, I saw the comment that you left, and I knew, you know, everybody was already talking to me about it happening, and I was thinking like, why are people so upset? It's a dinosaur. But it's so funny when I was writing the script and I was thinking about it, and it was really setting in with me that the island is going to be gone, and like this dinosaur is, if the dinosaur dies, like that's it, it's gone. There goes like the T-Rex that you watched when you were a little kid, Klayton. And I was thinking about it, I was like, wow, this is really depressing me.
Yeah, like, I don't want it to happen, but I got, like, at the same time, I'm thinking, be real, like, not realistic, because it's a movie, but, like, it's gonna possibly happen sooner or later. Maybe if it's not on screen, it's gonna be off screen, one or the other.
Yeah, maybe they'll do it like the Kraken in the Pirates of the Caribbean, where they just see its dead body or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They kind of have to do it. Because at a certain point, this dinosaur's, if they do it beyond this, it's going to be in its 30s, and it's like, well, shit.
What else could it do at that age? So that was our opinion of the fight between the Spinosaurus and the Indominus Rex. Who do you think would win in that fight? Talk about it in the comments. In the meantime, we both thank you again for watching. I really recommend that you subscribe to Klayton. He's a very knowledgeable guy about Jurassic Park. Very good YouTuber. I'd really recommend that you subscribe to him. And I'd really like it if you could subscribe to me as well. I promise to give you lots of content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next video.
Yeah, this was a great time. It was really great to talk about Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World. The Spinosaurus and Indominus Rex are two great killers, and I had fun.
So we both thank you again for watching, and you guys have a good day. As I wrap up for today, I'd like to tell you about DinosaurDetector.com, where you can find all kinds of dinosaur merchandise, such as figures, toys, t-shirts, and the aptly named Dinosaur Detector mug. Watch out for ripples. There's something here for any dinosaur lover, and for a limited time, if you go to the website and use the code Prutchick, you'll get 10% off your purchase. Every little bit helps. Check it out. See you next time, guys.